Thank you for staying with us. Riverdale Senior Services and PSS Circle of Care are presenting a free caregiver conference for family members and neighbors looking after an adult with Alzheimer's disease or other dementia. Joining us with more information are Julie Dalton, Executive Director at Riverdale Senior Services, and Staymon Braithwaite, Outreach Manager at PSS Circle of Care. Welcome to the both of you. Good morning.
Oh, thank you very much for having us.
Yes. So I just saw a video on Instagram dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia, and it was about a young man who was talking to his mom. And I don't know if you've all seen this video, but he was talking to his mom and he was trying to get her to say who he was, showing her photos and, saying, Mom, he didn't say mom, but he was like, who is this? Who am I? And she just couldn't say it. And I don't think a lot of people even begin to know how to handle this.
Yes.
It's a great pain that, one would have to go through, having a loved one not remember who they are. So the services that you're offering, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Because it's something that's definitely needed.
Yeah.
So if you could just tell us a little more about, how Bronxites could benefit from your services.
Well, certainly, I think the example that you brought up is a perfect example. When someone is a caregiver of a loved one, that really does an impact on their life, and they have a lot of challenges. And but we at RSS, Riverdale Senior Services, really try to look at our community through what we call an aging lens. We call ourselves the Center for Aged Living. So we not only focus on the challenges of getting older, but we also strive to empower people in the Northwest Bronx. So we have a very robust senior center with a whole array of art classes. We have a social action committee because we want to empower our neighbors to advocate for themselves. We're very proud that we have a nurse on staff who does health management and health education. We operate a number of community gardens, and one of our very critical programs is our adult daycare program for people suffering from dementia. So these are individuals that still live in the community, and they come to our program 5 days a week to have structured and stimulating programs. We also have a team of social workers that provide support. We do a number of support groups, and we do mental health counseling. So we're really there to meet the challenges of people in the Bronx that are getting older and their families. And we're delighted to be partnering with PSS Circle of Care to present this Caregiver Expo.
So, Staymon, tell me more about PSS. What are the how are you partnering up with Riverdale, and how are you? What are the services that you're also offering to the community?
So Riverdale is like one of the agencies that we're very happy to collaborate with. We collaborate with many different agencies in all 5 boroughs. Our agency, we try to strengthen the capacity of older New Yorkers, the families, and the communities, because being a caregiver could be very overwhelming. And not everyone knows the definition of being a caregiver. So sometimes your parent may get older and we just think, okay, well, it's our duty and it's our job to now care for them without thinking that there are resources out there that could actually help us along the way. And so we provide all free services to these caregivers, and a caregiver could be a neighbor. A caregiver could be a friend that's just calling to check up on someone. It doesn't really necessarily have to be a family member. We offer all free services such as respite, which we collaborate with home care agencies that would actually send an aide into the home to actually give that caregiver some free time to actually get themselves together and focus a little bit on self-care.
Now, how does one go about getting these services? What are the qualifications? Are there income guidelines that they have to have? What do they have to be able to get these services?
For us, there's no requirement. The person just needs to be caring for someone who is not even necessarily diagnosed at the time, but is showing signs of memory loss.
Okay.
So they would just need to be a caregiver for someone that has memory loss.
Okay.
And it's the same for our programs also. Anyone who's 60 and older can, take advantage of the services. And, again, in our adult daycare program, we have 3 options for people to come. We have a contract with the New York City Department for the Aging, so people can come through that. We also accept managed long-term care. And then, of course, the last option would be private pay. But our job as our social workers really get to know the person, and then really make those referrals to different resources and to provide the services that are best for them.
Now, what are the signs that one should look for? Like someone who may be watching, they're not sure if their loved one is suffering from memory loss. What are some of the signs that they should be looking for?
I always tell people like signs is a very tricky thing because, for example, myself, I forget my keys many
That's
times.
true. That's true. So do I.
Right. But I wouldn't want to say that I'm in a stage of dementia
Right.
or Alzheimer's, but
Yeah.
once you see something is reoccurring over and over and over, and they may start to forget what they may have had for breakfast or what they did the day before, these are signs that you really want to like just focus on just a little bit, and then you might want to like create like a log of how often they're doing these things, and then you would try to go to the physician.
And I think sometimes also being aware of signs is the person isolating themselves. Are
Okay.
they becoming what
Absolutely.
we call socially isolated?
Right.
Are they lonely? Sometimes if there's a lack of social interaction, that can exacerbate some perhaps early dementia. One of the things we're looking at doing at Riverdale Senior Services is really to enhance our adult daycare program to really address that cohort of people that are diagnosed earlier in their lives. So I think it's also very important for people to get engaged, the caregiver, whether it's a family member or a friend, with the older person's, physician. Sometimes the medical profession thinks, well, that's just a sign of aging. Not necessarily,
Right.
Aging does not have to be a time of, decline. It can be a very empowering time. But we always feel that information is more. So connecting with agencies like ours really empowers the person that's a caregiver to take care of themselves and to know the signs to look out for.
We have to wrap, but when is the expo happening, and how can we all get in touch with you?
It's happening next Wednesday, July 17th, from 3 to 6 p.m. at Riverdale Senior Services, which is 2600 Netherland Avenue. Visit our website, rssny.org, or send an email to info@rssny.org.
Excellent. Staymon,
Yes.
and did you have?
You could definitely look up our website at pssusa.org or
Excellent.
psscaregivers.org.
Staymon, Julia, thank you so much for coming on to talk to us about this important subject.
Oh,
We
you're
really
very
appreciate
welcome.
Thank you for
both.
having us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. The Caregiver Conference, once again, will be taking place on Wednesday, July 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Riverdale Senior Services, located at 2600 Netherland Avenue. For more information and to register, call 212-918-6123, extension 21, or visit rssny.org and click events. We like to be thorough, so we're giving you all that once more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.